All right, Crossroad Cues, here is our Super Player Package. Super Deal of the Week. You cannot go wrong for what we are offering this beautiful player setup for. And this one's got everything you need. As you can see, it comes with a 10-inch extension. Nice little quick release extension already prepped for the cue. Made by Mr. Douglas Moore, our good friend and cue maker, building these fine custom cues in the great state of Indiana. We always say Douglas Moore builds his cues in his one-man shop in southern Indiana. Doug just keeps getting better and better and better and better. He's always made a great cue, but you can see how much his ring work game has just continued to go up and up and up. And the nice thing is that his prices still have not caught up with the quality and playability of his cues. Doug always wants to keep the cues very, very, very affordable. That way the collectors and the players can enjoy his cues both at the same time. It's always a good thing when the cue maker doesn't want to overprice his stuff. When you look at everything that you have with this offer right here, I believe that any one of you will see a great value. What you're looking at, number one, I'm nicknaming this the cross cue. You guys know that I like crosses. I'll tell you one thing, this is definitely a tempting cue to keep right here. For sure, for sure, for sure. I'm going to tell you what the woods are and how it's constructed in just a minute. But one thing about Doug will hang on to a cue and he will hit several balls, sometimes several racks, or he'll even play with the cue sometimes for a day or two before he lets it out of the shop. Then he'll put the finished work on it, of course, so it still can be sold as brand new. He does not play with the shafts that come with the cue. He's got his own low deflection shafts. He plays with Kielwoods. He plays with carbons. But Doug says that he kept this cue around for a couple of days and he didn't want to let it go either. I love the crosses that he inlaid in here. By the way, these crosses are inlaid into just an incredible, incredible piece of stabilized Buckeye Burl. Take a look at the figure in this wood. Stabilized Buckeye Burl. Those white crosses are made out of Juma. Those are actual inlays. You've got a Juma joint with a radial pin. Just hang on, I'm going to get into the really good stuff here in a second. Highly figured Birdseye Maple up front, highly figured Birdseye Maple in the back, okay? Now look at the ring work again in this cue. Look how intricate this ring work is. I love those fleur de lises that he does, and then he's got the white ovals in between. So if you count the butt, you've got 1, 2, 3 position ring work, and then you got a little bit of like a deco ring at the bottom. But for all practical purposes, 1, 2, 3. I like to count one shaft as well. If you count the shaft connected to the cue, okay, then you would have 4 position ring work. But in any event, he built this cue. Now, the majority of Doug's cues, okay, they will have a joint connection. What Doug's been kind of experimenting with, and I really can't say experimenting because he's been building with it for a while, but he just started releasing some cues that have a full Purple Heart core. That means, what do they say the old way? From the rooter to the tutor. Come on, somebody, right? Hey, we're real people around here, right? From the top to the bottom of the cue, this bad boy is cored all the way through with Purple Heart, okay? Now, what does that mean? Well, it means a couple different things, right? It means, number one, above all, the hit with that Purple Heart, especially with the Birdseye Maple up front, but with that full Purple Heart core. Doug says that in his opinion, it actually is going to have that feel of the one-piece cue, but Purple Heart undeniably plays good. The other thing is when you don't have an A-joint connection, the cue tends to stay straight compared to where some cues will warp in the handle section. And I've seen older cues and I've heard of people having to literally replace the handle, normally because of mistreatment of the cue, by the way. You don't want to leave it in your trunk when it's cold out or hot out, or have it in severe weather or constant changes of humidity and things of that nature. But when they core all the way through, it creates a really special hit. The other thing about it is it's good for the balance of the cue. And like I said, ultimately, that playability and durability, reliability is going to be top shelf when you're dealing with that, okay? It's going to be a really, really, really good, solid, and well-built cue. So highly figured Birdseye Maple, amazing, really, I mean, nothing short of amazing. Take a look at that handle. Doug says that that handle alone, if you were to buy something like that, already stabilized, you could spend hundreds of dollars just to buy a handle like that. I'm selling this entire package, again, as an online special with, and I haven't even got into this amazing shaft work over here, with this high-performance shaft and the extension, you can get into this cue for under $1,600. I should be hundreds of dollars higher, but I want to give somebody an opportunity to try one of Doug's amazing cues. He did this cue for me with 30-inch shafts, okay? That is a 30-inch dark roasted, look at that, dark roasted Kielwood. Got a tomahawk ferrule up front, low deflection. So technically, if you use these shafts, you've got a 29-inch butt, 30-inch, so you actually have a 59-inch cue. 59 inches, fully cored with Purple Heart, radial pin, and a 10-inch extension ready to go with those special cross-type inlays all the way through for under $1,600. Come on, somebody. Just somebody say, I do. Send me a message and say, Eddie P, ship it, baby. Come on. Send that my way. I'll have it on the website soon if it makes it that far. If you're watching this video, make sure you contact me to make sure this cue is still available. You can check on our Facebook page, Crossroad Cues Gallery page, and I'll mark it sold as soon as it sells. You have on the Kielwood shaft, that is a 12.9. The Maple's a 13 millimeter, again, 30 inches, which is my preference. I like playing with a 30-inch shaft and a standard size butt, and that butt's got a really nice weight to it. 15.5 on the butt, so 15.5, I'm going to go, that's where some people hold the cue. If you hold the cue kind of in the middle, notice how it starts to tip forward a little bit. There's your balance point. Juma joint, radial pin, Purple Heart core, only in America, made by Mr. Douglas Moore. We'll call this the Cross Cue. Available, of course, at crossroadcues.com. Only in America. Made in Indiana, in the United States, in that one-man shop that puts out these amazing cues, Mr. Douglas Moore.